How's it going, YouTube? Navysooner here. Today, we're starting a new thing. It's called quick reviews. It's reviews that don't need like 10 to 15 minute reviews on products that are gear that I want to get out. Today, the review is on this. It is the Shield Arms S15 magazine. It is used for the Glock 48 and the Glock 43X. The S15 magazine is a 15 round magazine that is kind of single stack, kind of double stack, I guess 1.5 stack, that is used for the Glock 48 and 43X. The Glock 43X and the Glock 48 have always had 10 round magazines from the factory, and they still will always have 10 round magazines from the factory because Glock can't get their shit straight and won't change. Whatever. What Shield Arms did was they took the plastic factory magazine and used the same outer dimensions, and they just made it metal. The metal is thinner than the plastic magazine, therefore they were able to get more rounds into the magazine than the factory magazine. The reason that this is such a big deal is Sig Sauer has cornered the market on handguns that are subcompact and compact that are single stack when it comes to round count for the last couple of years. This magazine basically turns the 48 into a skinny Glock 19 because it's the same amount of rounds that the Glock 19 has. I ordered this magazine from Aim Surplus. At the time, that was the only place that had these in stock, and I got 4 of them. And I do believe Aim Surplus is a very cool and good company to purchase from as well. I think the low inventory problem that has plagued the S15 for the last, I don't know, since they were put out is pretty much taken care of. I went online today, the 13th of May, 2020, before filming this, and I can find them in multiple different places. This magazine and one other one I have put over 450 rounds through. My other 2 magazines I've put 300 rounds through. With that many rounds put through these magazines, I've had no issues. Now some people might say, oh, that's not enough to determine that these are good enough to carry on you at all times. Well, for me it is, and I've been carrying them on me basically since day one. 100 of the rounds that I've put through each magazine have been Hornady Critical Defense 115 grain rounds. The rest of the rounds have been different types of FMJ. The only reason that I chose the Hornady Critical Defense is that's what I carry with me in my firearms. I have done a small amount of 124 grain FMJs out of these magazines as well. Still no issues. The springs in these are very tight. It's hard for me to get the 15th round into the magazine, but I use a Maglula and I just put a little bit more pressure on there and it's not a big deal. If you're going to be using these, I would definitely either use the magazine loader that Glock gives you or a Maglula. I prefer the Maglula, it's just easier to use in my opinion. When inserted into the firearm, the magazine fits just as flush as the factory magazines. While I do give these magazines a great deal of praise, there are a couple of caveats. One, when you purchase these magazines, you will need to buy the Shield Arms magazine catch or release. Yes, you can argue with me over the fact that it's either a catch or a release, but you can also take your thumb out of your mouth and shove it up your ass because it doesn't fucking matter. The issues that come with having a metal magazine and a plastic magazine release is the metal will eat up the plastic and eventually will fail. 2, these magazines are $15 more than these magazines. I went on to Gun Mag Warehouse right before I filmed this, and these magazines are $25. These are $40. Okay, $24.99, $39.99. $25, $40, so $15 difference. No, I am not paid by Gun Mag Warehouse. I'm not sponsored by them, but if anybody is watching from Gun Mag Warehouse, I do need sponsors. So, yeah. 3. If you have an older Glock 48 or 43X, you are going to need to purchase the extra power springs because Glock made modifications to the newer versions of the 48 and 43X. Those modifications to the newer ones help these magazines work better. On Shield Firearms website, they do say that you do need the extra power magazines for the older 48s and 43Xs to run correctly. 4. When you have loaded your magazines to capacity to the 15th round, you can only see about the bottom half of your 15th round in the viewing window. Not an issue, you can still see it. You can count. It's the time of the video where I tell you I have a Patreon account and a subscribe star. I had 3, now I'm down to 2. One guy left, don't know why. No, whatever. I mean, I pay for everything myself, but it would be greatly appreciated if you could donate if you really like my content. That way I can keep this channel going. So, are these magazines worth it? Let me just start out by saying this. My channel is all about the regular guy, not the operator, not the police officer. Yes, it would be awesome if they watched my stuff and they gave me critiques, at least nice ones, not being an asshole or anything like that. But if they gave me critiques, that would be cool. That being said, I'm all about telling the regular guy if he should spend the extra money on things like this. Yes, the extra price is well worth buying these magazines and the magazine release or catch. I am not paid. I've had to buy these myself. For you guys that live in the States that want to abolish the Constitution, you're gonna have to just live with the 10-round magazines. But as of today, May 13th, 2020, SCOTUS will be doing a conference call because of COVID-19 on if they are going to hear 10 different cases on the Second Amendment. And one of those cases is a case against the Massachusetts assault weapons ban. In that assault weapons ban, they talk about high-capacity magazines. If they do hear it, and that case wins in favor of the Second Amendment, then you will probably have a chance to buy these magazines. The problem is, SCOTUS has already been announced as the 2020 Heisman Trophy winner, and it's the first time that a full-time punter has won this award. I've recently purchased the 5-round magazine extensions for the S15 from Shield Arms this time. I've put 60 rounds through the 2 magazines that I have this installed on. No issues, but I'm not going to do a review on this yet. Just telling you that I have it, and I'm going to be doing a review when I get enough rounds through it. Anyways, Shield S15, you need to get it. Navysooner out. The reason that this magazine is so big, god damn it. The reason that this fucking bullshit.